history in your community of wildland fires coming through. We've had some areas, at least in Southern California, that we've had fires repeat through the same fuel beds every 2 years. And so most people aren't surprised when that happens. The greatest degree of threat to the public is when they haven't had a fire in a community within the last 10 to 20 years, because you'd be surprised at how many new people that moved into that community. Also, you need Ready, Set, Go if your community infrastructure has poor circulation, narrow dirt roads, roads that are going across dead-end canyons, they're older homes, poor water systems, no addressing, and that the public opinion of the public is we don't need to do anything. If your infrastructure is not poised to change, if you have mature vegetation and the homes that are out there are mainly the older homes without the modern building codes, you are a prime candidate for Ready, Set, Go. The third step is to consider structures as a fuel model. What this means is as we learn our wildland tactics and fire behavior, we classify fuels as from brush to light grass to heavy timber as of different fuel model types. Really, what we should be doing is actually creating a type of fuel and labeling it as the structures, because those structures in that urban environment are a fuel type that's waiting for an ember, just like in the native vegetation, for embers to land and to ignite. We have to understand how they ignite, and one of the best reports that are out there is through the Institute of Business and Home Safety, or IBHS. And if you would Google the 2003 Witch Creek fire, they have a report that's very comprehensive, and they go through and they itemize how a lot of their after action has identified how these embers are causing house-to-house ignition. So we need to be able to maintain our fuels like the native vegetation. We need to maintain our homes. We need to make sure that we can either retrofit, but we have to do something with them. The fourth step is we need to be effectively to communicate with the public. And where I'm going with this is that so many of our messages are created from the fire service with our jargon, with our message that we're trying to deliver. But do we ever test our message before we give it out and ask the public, does it resonate with them? Does our language, our jargon actually make sense to the public? So these are the type of things that we need to really ask ourselves, and this is a growing step now that a lot of public educators are asking themselves, do we just elicit a message and hope the public understands, or do we really craft a message that is crafted from the very basics of what the public understands? Einstein said that only a fool would do the same thing repeatedly and expect different results. So we have to ask ourselves as a fire service, traditionally we will cite regulations and we expect people to salute and comply. But do we ever take the time to explain why the regulations are there? Do we ever engage the homeowner, the property owner, instead of just giving them a piece of paper and walking away? Do we identify target communities, or do we just treat one size fits all? So that's why we're talking about, if we want a different result, we actually have to change the way we present the message. To look at how to implement Ready, Set, Go, one must first look, what's the best core conduit to do that? In all national polls, firefighters are the most trusted individuals within their communities. With that being said, who else is better to go out and, like we said, engage the public, carry the message, go door to door to be able to explain what happens during a wildfire? Ideally, I would like to take all the public and put them in an IMAX theater and give them that large screen, throw smoke in there and embers too, so their eyes would burn in water so they could understand what a firestorm is in the safety of their chair and their popcorn. But really, we can't do that, so the best thing we can do is have firefighters act as ambassadors to go out there and carry the message. We need to tell the people what their personal responsibility is, what risks they have, and we need to identify those target communities. The materials that we have created are in a variety of mediums, from the action plan brochures that are available to videos, public service announcement. We've contacted people, and there's risk assessment forms that they can do themselves. We actually have photos of how to harden your home and how to react, everything from door hangers. We have tried and tested between Ventura County and Orange County as we began the alpha test on this program last year of going door to door. We've actually had town hall meetings. The results of some of the town hall meetings are great at times, and other times it's not so great. The best attendance is that we have at these meetings is right after we have a wildland fire, because that message is fresh. But studies have really shown you have about 90 days after an incident to really capture the public's attention. Otherwise, the attendance at these meetings aren't very good. We have reached out and put the message now in front of movie theaters. Before the movie starts, we carry the Ready, Set, Go message. We have banners, tons of internet messages. We're actually using our community emergency response training in our teams to get the message out. And an innovative way we were doing it now is people have to come in and serve jury duty. So while they're there waiting to be called for a jury, we're actually having fire department personnel there conduct a quick half-hour to 1-hour class on what Ready, Set, Go is. How do we measure the success of Ready, Set, Go? Well, what we need to do is make sure that the public knows and understands what the program is, that they're supportive, that we begin to see them causing an action. Are they creating the defensible space? Are they moving the firewood that was under the eave of their house, that was close and convenient to their house? Are they moving that firewood away now? Are they changing their vent sizes and so forth? Are they cutting back the branches around their house? Are they taking the pine needles or the leaf litter off their roof valleys, out of the gutters? And are they beginning to share this information with their neighbors? We ask ourselves, how will Ready, Set, Go be successful, or why will it be? And mainly it's simple, easy to understand, it's cost-effective, easy to implement. If at all costs you don't have any other mechanism, there is video messages that we can get out to the public, at least they'll be able to see. It's complementary to FireWise, Living with Fire, Take Responsibility, all the other programs that are out there. All these programs work in harmony to create the fire adaptive communities. It attracts partners. These partners are primarily right now a lot of insurance companies. Local insurance agents are willing to join hands and partner and support this financially and also with labor. And the fire department can implement it, and who's to know, if Ready, Set, Go works for wildland fires, could it also be used as a model for hurricane evacuation? The future is it's being put into the middle of the cohesive strategy to create those fire adaptive communities. We'd like to see it expanded not only to the homeowners, but also the workplaces, schools. We do need to work with evacuation on terminology so that when somebody hears a voluntary or mandatory or precautionary evacuation across this country, they know what it is. The timeline right now, Ready, Set, Go is becoming quite popular, but it's still in a pilot or beta test standpoint. It's not a national program yet. A lot of agencies went ahead and adopted it, but from the International Association of Fire Chiefs right now, we have 9 beta test sites from Arizona to Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, Michigan, Montana. And what we hope to do, you'll hear some of the comments from 2 of the beta test sites today. And what we're going to do is take their analysis on lessons learned on the message plus on how to deliver it. We are going to analyze all that and unveil it and at our conference next year in March in Reno for the Ready, Set, Go. Why is Ready, Set, Go needed? Because firefighters don't need to see these type of signs when they're responding to a wildland fire. They should know what houses are defensible, where the houses are, and where water sources are. That concludes my portion of this program. My contact information is on the screen in front of you, and there's a couple of websites that you can go to, our website or to the International Association of Fire Chiefs website, or you can Google the Orange County Fire Authority in California and get additional information on Ready, Set, Go, how the program has been customized for our organizations, and how you can use it for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Very interesting presentation. I'm very much impressed with the public outreach that Ready, Set, Go instills. I think it's critical. Now, before we move to our next presenter, we're going to ask another polling question of our audience. Does your county or community incorporate defensible space criteria in your building and/or zoning codes? Yes, no, in development, don't know. Okay. All right, looks like we got right now about an even split between yes and no. Few don't know. Looks like 40%. Yeah. Okay. All right, Alex, a little bit more do have it, so that's good to know. All right, now we'll move to our next speaker, Jeff Feldman from Sandy, Utah. Jeff is a 5-year fire captain at Station 32 of Sandy City Fire Department in Sandy, Utah, and is a combat captain assigned to the Ready, Set, Go project and wildland prevention program. Sandy, Utah is one of the beta communities you will hear from today. Mr. Feldman will describe the reasons why Sandy is interested in using Ready, Set, Go program, describe expected outcomes, and we'll talk about the process for implementing the Ready, Set, Go tool. Jeff?
From my Chief Rosenkrantz. We're Sandy, Utah. We're actually a suburb of Salt Lake City, and we have actually an urban interface of 12,000 homes in the WUI. You can kind of see this is from the other side of the community, and if you look across the community, you can see how the houses are built, even though this is kind of a small deal. We've been working on this project for a little bit. We actually started about 6 months ago, and we actually started doing a CWPP, which actually started us. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, my slide's stuck here. Started us looking at what the wildland community is. If you look at this map here, the red area is actually our interface area, and you can see we're bordered Wasatch Forest. We also up this way have Snowbird, which is a major ski resort in Alta. We have probably about $4 billion in housing in this area, not too much commercial. The other thing Sandy has, you can see, is a creek, which is we call the gully, running down the middle of the city. That also increased our ember zone. The red line here is actually our ember zone. It's coming around right there. So again, that's how we've come up with the 12,000 homes that we came there. The first thing we did actually in this project